Okay, welcome everybody. We are live with a Wheel of Shakespeare challenge for the second week of February. Had a couple of players weren't able to join us. We have a smaller group this time, but we still got good players here, and we should still be able to have fun with this group. So, does anybody have anything they'd like to share? Any announcements or anything to that effect? Anything new with them, or other stuff to look for online that people that watch this might also be interested in?
Maggie and I are doing something this evening,
Okay.
right? It's on Zoom Shakespeare. It's a Facebook page called Zoom Shakespeare.
Oh,
And Maggie, is this okay if I talk about this? Yeah.
Sure, is this
So
with me?
what they
Absolutely.
do they do a Shakespeare show every Saturday, and I've never been able to join them. But this one is going to be miscast monologues and scenes and monologues that you would never in a million years do. So hopefully
interesting.
that's going to be entertaining.
What time?
Um, so let me think. It's Central Time, 8 p.m., which for California is 6 p.m.
So in how many hours?
I don't know. I honestly, this is my first experience with this group. Looking at the list, I would say it's probably going to be about 90 minutes or 2 hours. But Central Time, 8 p.m. So that's
Thank you.
like Chicago, Houston, Texas.
Just type it into Facebook, the name that Elizabeth told us. You should be able to find it, and when you find it, it will probably tell you what time it starts. And
Zoom Shakespeare.
or,
Zoom Shakespeare. So that's
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. I'll definitely look that up. I hope anybody that's watching will do the same. Okay, so that said, we've just got 4 players this time, so we'll put the wheel in to determine which of the 4 of us is going to perform a monologue first. And our first performer will be Elizabeth. So we'll get started. And Elizabeth, you want gender neutral or?
yeah, gender neutral.
Okay, so Elizabeth is going to be performing To Be or Not to Be. Did you do that last week, or was it? I think it was the other. You did. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt. Yeah. Correct. So the different famous monologue. Okay, so but you haven't done this one, so then that should be fine. So let me take everyone out of the stream except for you. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub, for in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of disprized love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of? Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied over with the pale cast of thought, and enterprise of great pitch and moment with disregard their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action.
Awesome.
I never actually said that whole thing out loud. I've taught it.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Of all the stuff you have never done.
Yeah, interesting.
It's interesting that our weekly game became the venue for you to do that for the very first time. That was cool. Okay, so back to the wheel. The 3 remaining players. The next one to perform will be okay, Maggie. You're up next. Maggie, you have a preference of which wheel to spin?
You know what? Let's go gender neutral. I was almost going to ask for men, but I'll give women a chance.
Oh, well, we'll let the wheel decide.
I hope you can hear me.
Mark Antony, Friends, Romans, Countrymen.
I don't actually see anything different. I just see from when you chose the wheel.
Oh, yeah, we spun.
So I see. Sure. I'll do this.
Mark Antony, the Friends, Romans, Countrymen's speech.
Yes.
So
and it's just up until that. It's just up until that first break before when he turns around. Correct?
I'm not sure. I know it'll start with the Friends, Romans, Countrymen, and you can use your judgment about how far to go.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever you're ready, go for it.
For some reason, yes, I know, and I've got it. Oh, come on, computer. Last week, right after I closed out, I found Lady Macbeth's speech. Okay. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus has said he was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievous hath Caesar answered it. Here under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak at Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff, but Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which thrice did he refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus said he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but I shall speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Oh, judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin now with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Okay, awesome. So
I thought I knew it completely by heart, so I missed a few. Just
so between myself and Alex, the next one that will go will be. Okay, so I'm up next, and I will spin the gender neutral wheel. Oh boy, now is the winter of our discontent. Awesome. Love this one. Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this sun of York. And all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean, buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front. And now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber, to the lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking-glass, I, that am rudely stamped and wants love's majesty to strut before a wanton ambling nymph, I, that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. I, in this weak, piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, unless to spy my shadow in the sun, and descant on mine own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these farewell spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous, by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate, the one against the other. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day should Clarence closely be mewed up about a prophecy which says that G of Edward's heirs, the murderer shall be.
Such a fun part.
Such a, yeah. One, that's one where, some would be fun parts that you can't play because they're wrong gender or because you're too old, too young. I mean, that's one with my body type being 6'5". You know, it'll be hard. I don't think with my size I
Yeah,
would ever work that part. But
you'd have to do it on your knees.
yeah, unfortunate because it's such a great part and one I would otherwise just love so much to someday play. Anyway, Alex, you're the only one that still has to go. Do you want to stick with
gender neutral place?
Okay, so final monologue before we move on to scenes will be Alex doing
Helena.
Helena.
Midsummer.
Night Oh Hell from Midsummer Night's Dream, Act 3, Scene 2.
Friend. Just a second. Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
All spite! Oh hell! I see you are all bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me thus much injury. Can you not hate me, as I know you do, but you must join in souls to mock me too? If you were man, as men you are in show, you would not use a gentle lady so, to vow and swear and super praise my parts, when I am sure you hate me with all your hearts. You both are rivals and love Hermia, and ennoble rivals to mock Helena. A trim exploit, a manly enterprise, to conjure tears up in a poor maid's eyes. With your derision, none of noble sort would so offend a virgin and extort a poor soul's patience, all to make your sport.
Adorable.
Yeah, so cute.
It's a nice scene.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the four of us on the wheel, the two that we're going to randomly pair up first, and the remaining two will pair up after that. First scene will be Elizabeth. And Elizabeth is going to perform with... Oops, I forgot to remove Elizabeth from the wheel. So Elizabeth...
Oh. What do you think, Elizabeth? Shall we go for ladies?
Yeah. Did either one of you want to play a male role, or do you want to do the two female scene?
We don't care. I think I'd rather. I think probably. I'm trying to decide if we more great scenes with male, female, or two men. But definitely, I feel like Maggie and I have ran through all of the.
Yeah, we've done some lady stuff. So,
Okay.
How about male, female? Male, female?
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay, which one of you is going to be the male for this one?
I guess can I be? I'll be the guy.
Okay.
Is that all right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we won't even know what we're doing.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, we've done that before. So I think it'll be. I think it was Maggie that did this one with me before. So it'll be.
I did, and I was Desdemona then, correct?
Yeah. So I think that it's going to be the same one. So it'll be
All right.
part of the scene, beginning with it is the cause.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be Elizabeth that strangles you this time instead of me. Okay. So.
Well, actually, I'm playing the man.
Yeah.
So I'll be killing her.
Oh, Maggie's going to play the. Okay.
Yeah, I had said I'm going to do the guy.
So we go down to Amelia Calling my lord, my lord?
Pretty much, yeah. I think, or until Desdemona's been killed.
She doesn't die. Amelia comes in.
Right.
You're right. He smothers her, and she's still alive a little bit. Yeah. So I think basically when Amelia comes in is when it's done with being a 2-person scene. So
Okay.
so
Okay.
I felt Desdemona taking it from there. So whenever you're ready, go for it.
All right.
Okay.
It is the cause, my soul. Let me not name it to you, you chaste stars. It is the cause. Yet I'll not shed her blood, nor scar that whiter skin of hers than snow, and smooth as monumental alabaster. Yet she must die, else she'll betray more men. Put out the light, and then put out the light. If I quench thee, thou flaming minister, I can again thy former light restore, should I repent me. But once put out the light, thou cunningst pattern of exhaling nature, I know not where is that Promethean heat that can thy light relume. When I have plucked the rose, I cannot give it vital growth again. It must needs wither. I'll smell it on the tree. Ah, balmy breath, that dost almost persuade justice to break her sword. One more. Be thus when thou art dead, and I will kill thee and love thee after. One more, and this the last. So sweet was ne'er so fatal. I must weep, but they are cruel tears. This sorrow's heavenly, it strikes where it doth love. She wakes.
Who's there, Othello?
I, Desdemona.
Will you come to bed, my lord?
Have you prayed tonight, Desdemona?
I, my lord.
If you bethink yourself of any crime unreconciled as yet to heaven and grace, solicit for it straight.
Alas, my lord, what do you mean by that?
Well, do it, and be brief. I will walk by. I will not kill thy unprepared spirit. No, heaven forfend, I will not kill thy soul.
Talk you of killing?
I do.
Then heaven have mercy on me.
Amen, with all my heart.
If you say so, I hope you will not kill me. And yet I fear you, for you are fatal then when your eyes roll so. Why I should fear, I know not, sin guiltiness, I know not, but yet I fear.
Think on thy sins.
They are loves I bear to you.
Aye, and for that thou diest.
That death's unnatural that kills for loving. Alas, why gnaw you so your nether lip? Some bloody passion shakes your very frame. These are portents, but yet I hope they do not point on me.
Peace, and be still.
I will so. What's the matter?
That handkerchief which I so loved and gave thee, thou gavest to Cassio.
No, by my life and soul. Send for the man and ask him.
Sweet soul, take heed of perjury. Thou art on thy deathbed.
Aye, but not yet to die.
Yes, presently. Therefore confess thee freely of thy sin, for to deny each article with oath cannot remove nor choke the strong conception that I do groan withal. Thou art to die.
Then Lord have mercy on me.
I say, amen.
And have you mercy too. I never did offend you in my life, never loved Cassio, but with such general warranty of heaven as I might love, I never gave him token.
By heaven, I saw my handkerchief in's hand. O perjured woman, thou dost stone my heart, and makest me call what I intend to do a murder, which I thought a sacrifice. I saw the handkerchief.
He found it then. I never gave it him. Send for him hither. Let him confess the truth.
He hath confessed.
What, my lord?
That he hath used thee.
How? Unlawfully!
Aye!
He will not say so.
No, his mouth is stopped. Honest Iago hath taken it for't.
Oh, my fear interprets. What, is he dead?
Had all his hairs been lives, my great revenge had stomach for them all.
Alas, he is betrayed, and I am done.
Out, strumpet! Weep'st thou for him to my face?
Oh, banish me, my lord, but kill me not.
Down, strumpet!
Kill me tomorrow. Let me live tonight.
Nay, if you strive,
For half an hour.
being done there is no pause.
But while I say one prayer.
It is too late! Oh.
Amazing.
Awesome. Such a good scene. So much intensity and
It's from both sides too. It's really balanced.
really awesome. Okay, so that leaves myself and Alex to do a two male scene, and he and I are going to do. I've done this one before. Eros and Antony, the one where Antony, he's been beaten, and the suicide where he orders the slave to kill him. I believe I played Antony in this one before, so.
Okay, I can be Antony now.
So Alex can be Mark Antony, and I will be Eros, Antony's slave. So let's see. Let's find the scene where that starts. It's Act
4, Scene 14.
14.
Oh. Line 35, after Mardian says dead.
Let's see, Marty. I think once Mardian's gone, it's just the two of us. Let me double check.
Yeah. So I start with unarmed arrows, right?
Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so unarmed. We can go ahead and start it from unarmed. Actually, let me remove the other two from and put the title of this on here.
All right.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, start with.
Okay. Unarmed arrows. The long day's task is done, and we must sleep. That thou departs hence safe, the spade I labor richly. Go! Off, black off! The sevenfold shield of Ajax cannot keep the battery from my heart, or cleave my sides. Heart, once be stronger than thy continent, crack in thy frail case. Apace, arrows, apace! No more a soldier. Bruises, pieces, go! You have been nobly born from me a while. I will overtake thee, Cleopatra, and weep for my pardon. So it must be, for now. All Lent is torture, since the torch is out. Lie down and strain no farther. Now all labor mars what it does. Yeah, very force entangles itself with strength. Seal them, and all is done. Eros, come, my queen. Eros, stay for me. Where souls do couch on flowers, we'll hand in hand, and with our springly port make the ghosts gaze. Dido and her Aeneas shall want troops, and all the hunt be ours. Come, Eros, Eros!
What would my lord?
Since Cleopatra died, I have lived in such dishonor that the gods detest my baseness. I, that with my sword quartered the world, and overgreen Neptune's back, with ships made cities, condemn myself to lack the courage of a woman, less noble mind than she, which by her death our Caesar tells. I am conqueror of myself. Thou art sworn, Eros, that when the exigent should come, which now is come indeed, when I should see behind me the inevitable prosecution of disgrace and horror, that on my command thou then wouldst kill me. Do it, the time is come. Thou strikest not me, 'tis Caesar thou defeatest. Put color in thy cheek.
The gods withhold me. Shall I do that which all the Parthian darts, though enemy lost aim and could not?
Eros, wouldst thou be widowed in great Rome and see thy master thus with bleached arms, bending down his corrigible neck, his face subdued to penetrative shame, whilst the wheeled seat of fortunate Caesar, drawn before him, branded his baseness that ensued?
I would not see it.
Come then, for with a wound I must be cured. Dry thy honest sword, which thou hast worn most usefully for thy country.
Oh, sir, pardon me.
When did I make thee free? Sworest thou not then? To do this when I bade thee? Do it at once, or thy precedent services are all but accidents unpurposed. Draw and come.
Turn from me then. That noble countenance, or in the worship of the whole world lies.
Lo, thee!
My sword is drawn.
Then let it do at once. Think why thou hast drawn it.
My dear master, my captain, and my emperor, let me say, before I strike this bloody stroke, farewell.
'Tis said, man, and farewell.
Farewell, great chief. Shall I strike now?
Now, Eros.
Why, there then. Thus, I do escape the sorrow of Antony's death.
Thrice nobler than myself. Thou touchest me, O valiant Eros, what I should, and thou couldst not. My queen and Eros have by their brave instruction got upon me a nobleness in record. But I will be a bridegroom in my death, and run into it as to a lover's bed. Come then, and Eros, thy master dies thy scholar to do this. I learned of thee. How? Not that? Not that? The guard! Ho! Oh, dispatch me! What's the noise? Okay, that's the end of the scene.
Okay, that was awesome. It's a great scene. I like that I got to play both. That I've now gotten a chance to play both parts in such a great scene. So anyway, we had a shorter game than usual this time because there were only 4 of us. Maybe I'll I can reflect on probably mistakes I made. It's like, should I create this earlier or later? I figure, if I send the announcement out only a couple days before, less people will forget. I don't know if some people forgot about it, but I also like to have. I thought by putting it out earlier, that way it's there all week. And if I find new people, I don't direct them to an old dead link. There's always the most current one. I think I'll just do the best from now on. I think I'll just do the best of both worlds. This evening, or as soon as I can, I'll create the link for the next one. So that the one that's on all my social media profiles will be the newest one. So if people find us, they'll always use that one. But I'll also send a reminder out like 48 hours before.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
That way we can get the most. But I don't know. Maybe something came up, or maybe Sheila and Danielle forgot about it because I put it out so much earlier than usual. But I think I'll do that. It was fun this week. Till next week, and Elizabeth and Maggie are doing. It was called Zoom Shakespeare.
Zoom, yeah. Elizabeth has a scene, and then I have a monologue.
Okay.
And I think
so-
we're playing this. I think we're playing the same part.
We're
Oh.
saying yes. You're doing it from Richard III, correct? And I'm doing it from Henry VI, just before he takes over. Yeah, and like you said, it's against type. So you're playing Richard, and one of the people that we know from England is playing Anne. So
And Ryland, he's been here.
yeah, Ryland's been here. He's fantastic. So looking
yeah.
forward to it.
He was awesome. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that he never came back, but oh well.
Well, it's Saturday night for him.
Yeah.
And it's really late.
Yeah, it's already 8:00 there. So this thing that we're going to be doing, that's even later for him. So, you know, it's there's only so many things a person can do on Saturday night at 8:00, I guess, especially when you're young.
Okay.
And in lockdown.
And in lockdown, yes.
Okay, so anyway, it was a lot of
Thank
fun. Everybody, tune in later this evening. Look that up on Facebook to see Elizabeth and Maggie in Zoom Shakespeare, and we'll see you all again next week. Same Bard time, same Bard channel for the Wheel of Shakespeare.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. It's a pleasure.